What's up everybody, welcome back to another video. Today is finally the day as I'm going to compare the Joker 2 GT and the Wave 12 to find out which is the best basketball shoe of 2026. So let's get straight into it and start with the retail price. Exact same retail price, which also makes it hard to come to or to find a pair that's better, because I really like both pairs, as I've been saying in my past videos, and I think these two are the best performing basketball shoes of 2026. So I can't even separate them on the retail price point. So let's just start with the traction performance. Before we do, one thing, if you want to cop them, you can find discount codes and links in the description box down below. So I would highly appreciate if you'd use them if you want to cop one of these two pairs, as it directly supports me and my content. The traction pattern on both shoes actually looks kind of similar, as it's a very shallow pattern, not very thick grooves. Actually, they're kind of easy to move as well. We have some translucent parts here on the Joker 2 GT. It's fully translucent. On the Wave 12, the middle, like two out of 3 quarters are translucent. 4 foot is solid rubber. And at first, when I saw the shoes, I wasn't sure they were going to work that well, but both have absolutely phenomenal traction performance. So really, both of them stop on a dime. I would say the Wave 12 maybe has slightly more dust pickup. So that's one thing where I can separate them a little bit, because the bite itself, you'll see on the clips on screen, is really amazing on both pairs. So there's not much to compare there. It's just straight up 10 out of 10 for me. Slightly, but just slightly more dust pickup on the Wave 12. I've practiced with them, both pairs, on very clean courts. I've practiced with both pairs on very dusty courts, and it's been, just from a grip standpoint, the same. As I said, just maybe a little bit more dust on the outsole, but if you just wipe from time to time, you're going to be good with both pairs. I haven't tested them outdoors, unfortunately, but just theoretically, they should work. But I want to play with them indoors next season, so I want to keep them nice and fresh, and I don't want the outsoles to wear down that quickly. That's why I haven't played with them outdoors. If you have, I'd be highly interested in your thoughts. Maybe that's a point where we can separate them a little bit as well. But for the traction performance, both are absolutely amazing, so I can't say that one pair is better than the other. For the cushioning setup, that's where it gets very interesting. On the Wave 12, we have a full-length Super Boom with a carbon fiber plate in the middle. And then here on the Joker 2 GT, you can see it here on the the medial side of the shoe a little bit better. We have a dual cushioning setup. Actually, we've two different quick foam types. You'll see the names on the screen. And then we also have a carbon midfoot shank plate. You can't see this well on this colorway here, but it's essentially here. The parts are a little more darkly colored between the outsoles. What do I prefer? For a long time, I actually didn't have a preference, because both of them are very bouncy. They return energy extremely well. You also have good impact protection throughout the whole shoe, and yet somehow you're not too high off the ground. So for me, that is a perfect basketball cushioning setup, or basketball shoe cushioning setup. So it doesn't really get any better than that. But after playing with them for a long time, I think I slightly prefer the setup on the Wave 12. It just feels a little bit more bouncy. It gives me a little bit more impact protection. But it's such a slim difference. It's very hard to compare, as I said, or a lot already in this video. Minor edge for the Wave 12 in terms of cushioning. Stepping comfort on both pairs is excellent. The insoles are actually nothing all too special. You can definitely switch them out. I usually play with the insole that's inside the shoe, or I use my Victory insoles in shoes that don't have a strong midfoot or a shank plate, because I need shoes that have a good and supportive midfoot. But let's say I put my Victory insoles in here, it just gets a little bit too much, because it gets too stiff, and then that again hurts my feet, just the same way it hurts my feet when it's not stiff enough, if that makes sense. But of course, you can switch them out if you wear orthotics. There's no issue there, so it's no drop-in setups whatsoever, so that works as well. So again, not another point where we can really separate them. But I'd give a slight edge to the Wave 12 in terms of cushioning. For the support features, I think I'm also going to give a slight edge to the Wave 12. They just feel a little bit more sturdy and supportive. They keep my foot on the footbed slightly better, but it really is minimal differences. Both of these shoes are absolutely amazing, and it might also come down a little bit to the personal preference of the fit of the shoe, but that's going to be later on in the video. On the Joker 2 GT, I mentioned the carbon plate here already. We also have some accents here in the heel, an external heel counter, an internal heel counter, a lacing system that works really well. And then we have this diamond shell upper that's kind of reinforced in certain high resistance areas where you really put a lot of force in your shoe. Like here, for example, that just keeps your foot on the footbed even better, because the material underneath is very soft. And it's similar on the Wave 12. You have a very nice and soft, by the way, these haven't even been worn on court yet. while I'm recording this video. So that's like straight off the box. You can see they're crazy soft already. These have been worn once, and you can see as well, very, very soft, no pinching or whatsoever. And then you again have a nice lacing system. We have the carbon plate. We have an external heel counter here. We have an internal heel counter. Lacing system also is really, really good. And what makes these slightly better in my opinion is if you compare the shape of the outsole, you have this little outrigger right here on the side of the shoe. And while that does not look like a lot, it really helps a lot with preventing ankle rolls and ankle sprains. We have a wide base here in the Joker 2 GT as well, but we don't have this little outrigger. So for me, just because my foot stays on the footbed slightly better and because I feel minimally more stable in the Wörthersee 12, I'm going to give the edge to the Wörthersee 12. For the materials, I mentioned them a little bit already. Here, I actually think I'm going to give the edge to Joker 2 GT, simply because I absolutely love the laces. I love how they are padded. I love the stepping comfort. It's so nice and comfy. It's like putting a cloud on your foot. It's similar for the Wörthersee 12, but there's just not that nice and soft feeling that you get on the Joker 2 GT, especially with those kind of fluffy laces. I really, really like those and the feel of them. They also don't cut into your feet. That doesn't really happen on the Wörthersee 12 as well, but they're just more soft, so you can really tie them down nicely. And as I said, the material itself, this is worn once. If you wear them 2 or 3 times, I can actually show you a pair I have worn a little bit more. This yellow colorway. They get so soft, it's amazing. Maybe even too soft if I wear them like for a couple of months. You also have this material here in the heel that's very soft around your ankle collar and a lot of padding. So simply for the overall comfort of the shoe and for how they feel on foot, I think the material category has to go to the Joker 2 GT. So up to now, for a quick recap, for the traction, we had a tie. For the cushioning, I had the Wörthersee 12. For the support, I had the Wörthersee 12. And for the materials, I have the Joker 2 GT. Retail price was split as well. Maybe we can talk about the colorways as well, but I think on both pairs we have excellent colorways. The Joker 2 GT is actually all synthetic, so all the colorways, so maybe that is like another reason why I want to give them an edge for the colorways, because here in the Wörthersee 12 we also have colorways that use genuine leather, and I'm vegan, so I don't use any animal-based products, and I don't want to have the skin of a dead animal on my feet. So for colorways, just by the looks of it, it's a tie for me as well, but for, as I said, the material compound and the materials overall, I'll give it to Joker 2 GT. The last 2 things I want to talk about is, I mentioned the fit already. The Joker 2 GT is wide foot friendly, but they take longer to break in if you have a wide midfoot. And I do have a wide midfoot, so that's why I kind of prefer the Wörthersee 12 a little bit in terms of fit, because I can take them out of the box, I can go play with them straight away in a competitive pickup, whatever, practice game. Doesn't matter, because right now it's the off season, so I don't have any official games. And I can't do that with the Joker 2 GT, unfortunately. It just hurts my feet. I need to wear them for a couple of sessions to break in. This extra lace loop we have here on the side, which is great for support features, just hurts, or if you tie them down very tightly, just presses into my wide midfoot, and that's just one thing that I can't really deal with that well, especially if I wear them in a competitive game where I just want to focus on the game and don't have to think about what shoes I'm wearing. So for that case, I'm going to give that edge to the Wörthersee 12. To the Wörthersee 12. But that's a personal preference. So if you don't have a wide midfoot, the fit is great on both pairs. True to size, in my opinion. So if you've never had a pair from 361 or Way of Weight, I go with the same US size I wear for Nike, and that has usually fit me the best. The last thing now, the weight of the shoes, very, very similar. The Wörthersee 12 is the lightest Way of Weight signature line model we've ever had, and it's just amazing how much tech is in there for how light they are. And the Joker 2 GT is also very light. Overall, if I have to decide now which is the best basketball shoe of 2026, if I could just wear one of these two for the rest of the year, I would go with the Wörthersee 12. They are just a tiny little bit better than the Joker 2 GT. Doesn't mean that these are bad at all. These are a phenomenal pair. I have a specific review for this pair. I have a specific review for that pair. So you can definitely check that out. But that was after I had my first pair of each shoe. And sometimes that can change the more you play with a shoe, of course. But that's all I have for you today. If you have any questions on them, if you want to know anything else, if you want me to compare them to other shoes, just let me know in the comment section down below. I'd really appreciate if you'd subscribe to my channel and leave a like on this video. And as said, if you could use my discount codes if you want to cop them, that would be great. Have a good one and see you next time.